Well, that looks familiar. It looks like we haven't moved, right? Well, you turn around and ta-da! And it's moved. And I did not realize you could come down here in realMYST. Awesome. Okay, so the first priority of getting to any age is finding the book that links you back to Myst. And it's actually down here, but we need the code in order to get it. And because I don't have my old notes anymore, I don't have the code. But the answers for the code are on the other two islands. So basically you have to rotate the tower. And basically, whenever you come to a certain age, you have three objectives. The first is to find the Myst book. The second is to find the pages. And the third is to take the pages back to the red and blue linking books. So this is Cirrus's room, and there are actually things we can interact with. See? So here's a bird toy. We've got a chess board. Cirrus plays chess. Ooh, kingly. I didn't... Yeah, because you can actually sit in the chair. I didn't realize that. We've got models of the rocket ship and the ship. Also, the clock tower. We have the telescope here, which just points out to nothing right now. And then there's these things where if you click them, they light up. Now, these are not puzzles. Some people think they are, but they're not. So if we go around the other way, ignoring that passage to the right for a moment, this is Akinar's room, and you get a very, very different picture of who he is. You know, Cirrus likes fine things, whereas Akinar is into violence. Like, seriously. Not just violence, but, we go... Yeah, take a look at his as well. And that's actually... That's probably a window back there, but... No. Yeah, maybe it is. Either a window or... No, that's just a pillar. Never mind. Alright. So if we take a look here, we have a hidden chamber, which has been divided in two. And you can see Cirrus is... Or Akinar is really into weird things. Like poison, we have a torture device, you know, and we also have the blue page. Now, the red page is in Cirrus's version of this chamber. And it's okay to go ahead and pick them up. You can only carry one at a time, though, which kind of sucks, because it means you have to visit each age at least twice in order to get the full brunt of the story. But actually, what we do want is right here. This is that practice device. Yeah, Fortress Rotation Simulator. And this will actually show you which direction the fortress is going. And it has info that we are going to have to write down. So we want to turn power on. And then rotate. Wait a second, what? There we go. Rotate. And turn power off to lock it in place. What sound is that? Kind of a whoosh? Yeah, it's kind of like a whoosh. I'm writing this down. Whoosh is east. Alright. It's very important that we know these directions. Okay, hold that up. Okay, down. Lock it into place. It's a ding. Ding is north. Okay. And what's west? Kind of like a bring. Bring is west. And then what's south? So that's a cowbell. Well, we're going to say dong. Dong is south. Okay. It's very important that we know that. And this is actually the only instance of puzzles leaking over from ages, because those directions are also important to the Selenitic age as well. So we want to go back here. And you can see there's something here, but we can't access it as of yet. It's also dark back here. Turn on that flashlight. Alright. Most of the game, like most of the areas you're supposed to go to, are actually pretty well lit, because they were in the original game, which didn't have a flashlight. There we go. So here, we have something else here, and you can see you want to lighten those up. So just rotate that. There we go. Now that's lined up, which means we have access to the elevator. So if we press that again, raise those stairs, we have access to the elevator. The elevator has several different points we can go to. There's a top, a middle, and a bottom. So what you want to do is you want to go to the top, then you want to click the middle, and get out of there. Because you need that to come back down, because the controls we actually need for the tower rotation are on top of the elevator. There we go. Now, where are we? So we're already facing... yeah, that's north, or that's south, rather. So if we go... Hold it, hold it. Whoosh, so that's east. And this button takes us back down. I don't remember if there's anything actually to the east. I don't know. So now we want to go back down. Okay, if we leave here, actually leaving through Akinar's chamber, because I always forget which is on which side. Okay, good. This is one of the islands we needed. Alright, so if we head up here, we get half of the code in order to get out of here. We have a circle above 3 triangles. It's probably symbolic of the sun above the hills, and then we have like a half moon. And those are 3 and 4. Okay, that's all we need here. Now, something I mentioned earlier was that MYST does not seem like the actual home of a family because there's no living quarters or anything like that. You know, you have Atris's library, you have the places of protection for, oddly enough, the 5 specific ages we get to go to, which is really weird. It's like, how did Atris know that those were the ones we were going to get that were going to be saved? I don't know. But either way, but there's no living quarters. There's nothing that's actually required for living. Nothing like a kitchen, nothing like sleeping quarters or anything like that. Well, it seems to me, at least in the initial game, that Atris's family, he, Catherine, and their boys are somewhat nomadic. They have MYST as kind of a home base to go back to, but they actually kind of, they go to the various ages and live among the people there for a time, basically. And I think that's supported by the fact that every single age we visit has a bedroom for, or some kind of themed room for Cirrus and Akinar. Stone Ship is bedrooms. You know, here it's kind of like a throne room for each of them. You know, stuff like that. So if we go again, that should be enough. There we go. That's Ding. That's north. I don't know if this is the last island or if that's going to be to the west. I think this might be where the last island is. So if we go back down... Now the cool thing is, aside from the Selenitic Age, which is my least favorite one, once you know how to get the MYST linking books, it's the second trip is really, really quick, because you're just rushing in to get the last page, and then rushing back. Yes, this was exactly the one I was looking for. Awesome! Okay, so here we have the other two. We have kind of a circle with an open bit at the bottom, and then we have an upside-down triangle, a rectangle, a rectangle, and a regular triangle. So now we have to set it back to south in order to get where we need to go, because there is nothing to the west at all. So let's go back. I keep going through Akinar's room for some reason. I have no idea why. Now this one's going to be a little bit trickier, because we have to, well, basically we'll want to bypass west. But again, unlike the tower rotation simulator, which lets you learn the controls, this does not have a holographic display. Why it doesn't, I have no idea, because You know, if this were a real place, you would definitely want the holographic display here, not just on the simulator, because then they could actually learn to do it by rotating the tower itself. But as far as puzzle design, it does make sense, because you don't want it to be too obvious. Okay, well, I think that's enough. We want the dong. Nope, that was the bring, which is west. So we go a little bit further. There we go, that's what we want. And this will give us access back, and we can take the blue page back. Now, if you really want to, you only have to bring one type of page back. I prefer to bring both. It helps flesh out the story a bit. Rather than getting one brother's side of the story, you get both as time progresses. But you really only have to do one. And actually, if you know exactly what you're doing, you don't have to do any of them. There are ways to open this or complete this game very, very quickly. Okay, so changing these around, we want that. And that. And that. And, whoop, I went past it, damn it. Gotta cycle back around. There we go. That lowers that. And we have the book which links back to MYST. Now, unlike the original MYST linking book that we used to open the game, all of these ones take you back to the library for some reason. Yeah, and you're always looking up at this mural. And the original game did that too. Alright, and we want to put that in there, and let's see what Akinar has to say.
He returned. He wouldn't return. He just rescued me. I'm Akinar. My brother, I beg you. To be complete. Always blue pages. Listen to him. Not listen to my brother. An egotistical fool and a liar. Bring me the blue pages. The red ones. Don't bring the red ones. I implore you. I've been wrongfully imprisoned. You must leave. I will have my retribution. Please bring me the blue pages. Pages, please.
So Akinar is claiming to have been wrongfully imprisoned, but I'm not sure we can trust him. So yeah, you can see the day-night cycle, the sun's starting to set. Alright, so let's go ahead and head back to the mechanical age and get that last page, the red page, which is in Cirrus's chambers, or rather Cirrus's hidden chamber. Alright. Come on. Give me the control. There we go. Oh, that's actually even already open. Awesome. I swear it didn't used to do that. It would close again. Maybe that's the original MYST version. Not MYST Masterpiece, or realMYST. So yeah, this is Akinar's chamber. I want Cirrus. I always get mixed up on which one's which. Probably because you approach him from both the back and the front. So here is Cirrus, and his hidden chamber door is a little bit hidden. It's right there. And you can see he really enjoys fine things. And what is this? There is something there. There we go. Cirrus, your greed sickens me. Your desire for wealth and plunder is never satisfied. I will instruct my subjects not to pay your new tax, and you know they'll listen to me. Regards, Akinar. So Cirrus is greedy, and Akinar somehow has subjects. Interesting. Anyways, yeah, there is plenty of plunder and booty in here, including gold and a red page. How exactly the red and blue pages got scattered and placed in these specific places is actually a plot hole for the game, believe it or not. because it's never clearly explained, and I'll probably go back to it as we get near the end. I just don't want to spoil it yet for anybody who hasn't yet played the game or watched my previous LP. So, but yeah, it is kind of a bit of a plot hole, just things that don't quite make sense when you try to approach this from a narrative perspective. As far as game design, they make perfect sense, but otherwise it doesn't quite work. Okay, how do I get out of here? There we go. All right, so let's see what Cirrus has to say for himself.
You've returned. Thank you for bringing the red page. You must continue to help. My name is Cirrus. I beg you to find the remaining red pages. You must release me from this book which has become bring. I need more red pages, please. Beg. Don't waste time. Look. Don't. My brother is guilty. And I wrongfully imprisoned. Bring the red page to me.
So now Cirrus is claiming to have been wrongfully imprisoned. Well, which is it? Obviously, one of them has to be guilty, right? Anyways, that is it for Mechanical Age. We do not need to go back at all the rest of the game. You can go back and explore if you want. Just take a look at the environment, stuff like that. But that's really it. So next is probably going to be my second favorite stage. Stone Ship. There we go. So now we've got the tower rotated. Let's go ahead and take a look at the journal. Emmett was the first to live on the rocks. He named them the rocks because that is what they were. A group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. This was where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks, as it was never too far of a distance. One day, another person appeared on the rocks, for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together often. Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon, Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. The sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzlingly clear, allowing them to see almost to the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. Though the sun always shone, it was never too hot for the boys. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day, while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said the boy should be called Will. Will was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least, that is the story I was told before I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were surprised to see me at first, but even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Today, the second day on this newly created age, a strange thing happened. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the smaller rock islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, yet they obviously still feared it. Before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys I would leave the following day. I told them that while I was gone, I would make a surprising change in their world. They didn't understand, not that I expected them to. I still did not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art, testing the limits of the rules as dictated to me by Father. I attempted to create a boat by writing it into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. Although this test did not turn out as I had hoped, I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. So here we get our first hints at what exactly is going on and how these books are made, how the ages are made. And it's through the use of something called the art, which is the art of writing real worlds into books. And also, Atreus learned it from his father, which is very important to the next game in the series, Riven. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoying it anyway, and with that I am pleased. They have played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying from it. It is a much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I have learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I have made note of and named a number of constellations that pass above me. Also during the night, I catch glimmers of light from the horizon, which I have not been able to discover if it is created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off islands or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it is additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to the light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. If rain has never fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I would like to discover why it is falling now. Regardless, I have decided to return home for a short while. I have also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I hope to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light toward the horizon, it may prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. They would be curious about the light and travel to discover its source, if they have the means. I returned with many tools that I will need for the construction of the lighthouse. I have decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. We have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems to not be as secure as I would like. I have had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose no real problem. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished and we are proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening we powered up the generator, much to the boys' dread at first, and shined a great light to the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night in the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I had become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. Then Will noticed a man not far away from the girl. Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbors. I feel pleased to leave this age. I have set in motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art, that will have a more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written. I think, and there's a bird's eye view of Stoneship Age, I think of it this age as a gift to myself that I will wrap up and open someday in the future, only to discover that it has changed so much that it is indeed a surprise. Besides, I have yet another new age that awaits me. It seems I'm going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and so much planning is in order. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stoneship Age. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are many new faces that I do not recognize. Branch told me that it has not rained for 7 years, and the cool breezes are back again. They are all very content and have been serving me with new foods and showing me new materials they have discovered. It even seems they have found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they have tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I have noted that the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. So now, after a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud with them what things will be like here in another 10 years. So now we have a book of constellations through the last of this, and there are specific ones we need, but we can't get to them. We don't know which ones we need yet. It is nighttime. So anyways, first thing we want to do is go take a look at our new key in order to access the Stoneship Age. Come on, let me through. There we go. And in and up. So yeah, we have to rotate to align with the tower itself too. Okay. And I bet you... Now that's clear out there. Oh. So it's only mechanical age that doesn't work. But yeah, this shows you where the book itself is located. which, of course, given it's the stone ship age, is in the sunken ship. So we have to figure out how to raise the ship. Well, the keys are right here. We have... I'm actually going, rather than write these down, I'm going to take a picture of it. And that'll be easier reference. So we have October 11, 1984, 10:04 a.m. January 17, 12:07, 5:46 a.m. November 23rd, 9791, 6:57 p.m. Now, where would you think that we can actually put these times in? Why is it not letting me down? There we go. Okay, that is dark. Alright. Well, if you guessed the planetarium, you would be right. And based on... This is a connection I never even realized, but based on what we just read, I think the planetarium is not a planetarium of the stars in the night sky of MYST, but the stars in the night sky of the stone ship age. That makes the most sense, I think, because he did say he was keeping track of the constellations of that age, and he even said that he was writing them in his journal and stuff like that. There we go. Turn on a light. We want to go to the planetarium, which we have not been into yet. That is nice and bright, and there's a dentist chair in the center. We want to turn that off. And we want to hit this button, because we want to turn the lights off. And then get in the chair. There we go. We want to drag this down, and now we can input our times. So taking a look, we've got different sliders here. We have October. We want October 11. 1984. We went way too far. We can get close. There we go. 64. And 84. And then we want 10:04 a.m. So 10. Whoa, too far. We want 10:04. Not too far. There we go. Alright, and then we hit this button, and it shows us the constellation which we have. Alright, there we go. I want to take a picture of this. There we go. And then show me the other ones. We gotta get January 17, 12:07. Want 12:02. There we go. 07, 5:46 a.m. So 5:46. Hit the button. And there's our next constellation. So take a look again. And we want November 23rd, 9791, I think? My image isn't very clear. But 97... There we go, 9791. And then 6:57 p.m. 6:57, too far. Alright. We want to take a picture of that. And now we can get out of here and go figure out which constellations we need, which means going back to the library and taking a look at the stone ship age thing again. Okay, one of them we do want is the leaf. So we want the leaf. We want the beetle. And what's the last one? I think... Yeah, the snake. The leaf, the beetle, and the snake. Now remember those. Okay, so the answers for this one, or the way to raise the ship, is right over here. We have the leaf, beetle, and snake, and we have these things which match up to the constellations. So we hit that. And then we go leaf. And then, where's the beetle? There it is. There we go. Leaf, beetle, snake, and that raises that ship. Which also, believe it or not, raises this ship over here, too. You just head across. And then the linking book is down in here. To the Stone Ship Age, which is very stormy. Alright, you can see the lighthouse too. A nice sweeping vista of it. This is probably my second favorite age, and it's also the one where the flashlight breaks it. So let's go ahead and head in there.